Hola amigos, welcome to Life for Living Well channel. Please subscribe to keep the channel going. You can also check us out by visiting our website on www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Sit down and enjoy the helpful topic for this week. Hey, welcome back to another episode from Life for Living Well. I hope you're all well. And before we get started for this week, my name is Richard and I'm the anchor for this program for this week. And if you do like to know about what Life for Living Well do, you can check us out on our website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Before I get started, I appreciate that the last week it seemed like more people seem to like it, and thank you for your feedback and your questions, and we'll continue to work more on it. Let's get started. So the topic I have for us this week, I call it benefit of cooking your food. I know it sounds different to any of the topics that I've presented so far through this platform, but by the time you're able to follow through this particular podcast, you will realize that it's actually not quite different from any of the topic Life for Living Well I've been handled in the past. So let's get started. So we call it benefits of cooking your food. One of the common skills that today both men and women shy away from is cooking. So the question is, how did this happen? How does it happen? In fact, it was the oldest home skill humans learn and improve on from one generation to another generation. Apart from its spiritual benefits, it benefits your mind enormously. You might be underestimate this only if you already involved in painting class or drawing class. The moment that your focus, your attention was away for what have happened in the day, you no longer think or worry about it. And what will happen tomorrow, you no longer think or worry about. All your attention and your focus was already focused on the food that you're preparing and the art of preparing it and the final product of the food and the effort that you put to it. That alone can only benefit you in a more deeper level than suiting yourself with alcohol or suiting yourself with the TV and suiting yourself with drugs. So from one generation to another generation, humans have learned how to improve these skills. Apart from its spiritual benefits, it benefits your mind enormously as it improves your attention and focus. And if you want to achieve anything in this world, number one trait that common with most successful people in any industry or any field, even relationship, is the focus. What we're fighting all the time or struggling with, a lot of people struggling with, is to have a focus on one thing at a time, because there's so many distractions that taking us away from whatever we're doing at that moment. we want instant gratification right now. So, but the art of cooking will improve your ability to focus on the skills that you develop in one area can easily transferable to other parts of your life, and in essence, it brings you to what you actually want to happen. So your mind less moving around or mindlessly lost in thoughts. If you see someone in the cinema but they're already thinking that they should be picking kids in school. If you see someone in the party and already thinking what should they cook in the morning, you could be that one person. Your focus less on the past events of the day when in the art of cooking. So one thing that's so obvious and common with people that genuinely cooking their food is ability to be in that kitchen, be in that place at that moment, look at the ingredient that you're working on, and then take yourself to plan meticulously what you want to cook, what the ingredients you need, and when you have all those ingredients, how do you mix it together? I have heard so many disastrous stories of people that want to impress their date by cooking. I've heard story of someone that baked a cake, but he forgot to use the measurement and put so much alcohol into the cake, and all the people that tasted the cake, one of them get drunk and he couldn't drive back to his place. This is not what I'm saying today. What I'm saying today is that it's okay if you never cooked before and you are the first person that download on your favorite website the meal, the ingredient, and where to do the shopping for it, and you buy and you follow it step and it doesn't turn out the way you want. Don't give up. I'm sure by the time you do it second time, third time, you become pro on it. Or you might not. But if you don't try, you don't really know. So, many people rule themselves out easily that I don't know how to cook. I don't like cooking. What they actually say is that I don't have the time to cook. So time is our biggest challenge here, as many things are demanding for our attention, such as work, family, social, and personal dreams. How can cooking be incorporated into our life? So these are the questions I ask people that find it difficult to slot time for the cooking. It has to be a matter of intention. It's not something that you just wake up and you inspire. If you never develop affinity or passion for cooking, it will be very hard, like anything that you're doing for the first time. You have to be intentional about it. So when you are not able to do your cooking daily because you couldn't find time, so then find time in a week that you can do a week meal and put it in your refrigerator. I normally try to use my Sunday afternoon to do the cooking that will last for the whole week and put them in my fridge and put them in a container and just bring them out when I get back home and I want to have a meal to myself. But sometimes I don't do all the week. Rather think that I have a time this evening and I want to prepare my meal directly. So you don't have to follow mine. You have to figure out what is appropriate for you, what is right for you. You know your schedule and you know your time. So you wonder why supermarkets have so much processed foods. Go to the market today, left and right is full of processed food. More of our foods are coming in form of processed foods, like pet foods. Are we packed as well? Because we all the time we squeezing time and the time and the time, and each of these times was slotting for something else that actually pick us on from skills that is free, but because we don't invest time to it, we don't develop it. Someone was said that when the talent refuse to work hard work will beat it all the time, and I agree. So you do not need to spend hours and hours to develop your cooking skills. But if you start small with a easy to cook food, by the time you do it 2 or 3 times with your family, it may become your specialty. I actually think everyone should specialize in one thing. It could be sleeping, it could be tidying your place, it could be helping someone, it could be just listening to someone, it could be speaking and encouraging someone. Have you asked yourself why we have so many processed foods in supermarket today? The obvious observation is that there is a market for it. So there's many people that they no longer embrace the habit of cooking their food. So there's always a need for that. So there's different businesses that are rising in this field where they can package everything for you and give you the list of how to cook it. There's a joy and there is a freedom that's independent, knowing that you can feed yourself. So let's look at the benefit of cooking your own food. If it's not the habit that you have, it's actually the habit that you can learn and embrace to yourself. No one was born to cook. It's something that it depends how you brought up, your environment, and your own individual affinity for it. Is there any skill that actually transferable to next generation is cooking? But in this particular podcast, I'm not just looking into how you cook. I'm looking into deeper benefit of cooking, different virtues, traits that you can develop and expand and enhance that can transfer to other parts of your life. So number 1, it improves your relationship with your diet, self, others, and family. If you have one, you have a genuine connection with people. So imagine you invite your friends or family into lunch with you. They wanted to know, after they enjoy your delicious food, they wanted to know how you cook the food. For the first time, just imagine 3 or 4 people listen to you, how you explain the food, where the food comes from. Sometimes they're curious. If you are a little bit adventurer in cooking and you cook something that totally different to the community that you came from or the people that you know, they wanted to know the origin of the food, why you particularly cook that food. And you never know what that might do to one or all of them when they leave your place. You not just feed them the food, you also feed them by educating and open their mind to things that they never experienced. Most people are afraid of what they don't know. And what's the best way of introducing them to things that they don't know, but it's not threatening to them? Is to soften their rigidity in a bit that allow them to expand their mind. One of the samurai law is there is 2 weapons, and you should choose the one that is right for you. You have a sword and you have your mind. The sword is so limited, but the powerful one is your mind. If your mind says you can do a thing, believe me, you can do a thing. If your mind says you cannot do a thing, there's no amount of conviction anyone can do for you, you cannot do it. So the same thing, how you help people by softening their rigidity, by expose them to things that they never know, but it's not threatening. Number 2, wellness that begins with what you put into your mouth. You literally become what you eat. Some health issues are avoidable just because you are eating well. You don't underestimate the power of eating well. I think the greatest medicine is to eat well. And most of the problems that we have in the world today, in terms of illnesses in our physical body, what we eat also contributes to it. What's the best time that you become a sole driver of your own health? And you prepare or choose what you cook, what you eat. Number 3, you are in control of your finances rather than gradually giving it away to someone else in your kitchen in form of a takeaway every day. You'll be surprised how much people, family, individuals, students spend in ordering takeaway from Monday to Friday. During the lockdown, when people can't even go to the restaurant, some people just order for pizza every day. So there is a place for takeaway, even going to the restaurants. But you want to be in control of it in terms of how frequent you do it. If you set a budget every month, how much you want to spend on cooking, just compare how much you spend to buy the food outside and how much it costs you to cook your food in your house by yourself. So in financial time, it also helps you to take control of your finances by not throwing away your hard-earned currency by eating junk food. Lastly, number 4, your mood improves and is uplifting. You tend to have more energy as a result, and you are able to materialize your dream. Your pendulum of emotions does not affect your relationship in a negative way, as it is relatively stable. So what matters, like I said earlier, what we eat becomes us. If you eat banana, you become banana. And if you eat junk food, you become junk food in terms of your mind and your body. So in order to eat, when we eat well, it can also transfer to your how you feel about your emotions. It also help you to stabilize it much better. And this is one thing that people in Japan take very, very serious. They take their physical health serious, and they also take even more serious the hygiene and the food. So they reduce completely a processed food in their meal. And no surprise that it's the only part of the world that has the highest number of people that live much longer than anywhere in the world. So to bring this podcast to the end today, these are few out of many benefits backed up with research in this area, and it is a tragedy that as a society we place less emphasis on it. We prefer to spend trillions of dollars to go into the space. Why are we not exploring the human need on Earth with the same resources and energy? That's the question. As a result, we trade virtues like patience with something weak and temporary like instant gratification and excitement, which leads to addiction in the long run in other part of our life. So I'm leaving you with a word of thought for this week. Be the good you want to see in others. Thank you for your time, and thank you for following Life for Living Well. And if you'd like to get some of the books that we recommended that will be helpful for your personal, emotional, spiritual journey, you can check it out on our website at lifeforlivingwell.com. And if you do have any query or question about particular this podcast or any of the podcasts that we had in the past, You can easily send us email at info@lifeforlivingwell.com, or you send your email to richard@lifeforlivingwell.com. And if you don't want to do that, you can also contact us through the form on our website, again at lifeforlivingwell.com. Thank you for your time this week, and have an amazing week. And ciao and bye. From everyone here from Life for Living Well, we say hasta luego, amigos. Thank you for your time this week. May your rest of the week be safe and loving. Please subscribe to our channel to keep it going. And you can find more information on our website by visiting www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Goodbye.